right, so we are live, um, and I'm Mason. I make Amiiglows, and I'm here with Josue, my co-host, who runs Amiibo Steel, and
Hello.
Alex and Tom of the Game Changers.
Yes, hey there.
Hey guys, how are you guys? I'm Amiibo Steel, so you guys probably seen us through Twitter, Instagram, and we have the Game Changers. They're amazing. Their customs are sick as hell. They have amazing work, very custom work, and we are here to talk to them about what they're doing, especially now with their Flint Water Crisis charity event. So, how are you guys?
Doing great. So the Flint Water Crisis charity that we're calling the Flint Blue Heart, to kind of go along with, sharing love and just giving back. We want every cent that we raise to go straight to the cause. We think it's, the whole point of a charity is to give, as much as you can to the cause that you're there for. So we found this problem. Flint, Michigan is going through a crisis that their government changed their water source. So it turns out that over 100,000 residents, mainly in that town of Flint, are now struggling to even bathe or have enough clean drinking water because it's contaminated with lead, because the pipes have corroded, and it's become a real problem. We've gotten some comments from residents and other people that are nearby, and just they're affirming that it's really an issue. So we're excited.
And that's a problem because like something, especially like that, like water, like something that's very essential. Like thinking about how abundant usually we have it here, especially for people down there, like that's a problem. Like I know a couple of people who have been either poisoned of it, and they're going through a lot of really bad stuff.
Right.
So, it's great that you guys got your word out there, and hopefully we can do something together about it, because honestly, every person who's putting a custom in there, because I know that you guys collaborated with a lot of people like KitCash, AK Shop 08, Brian Reno, who, he submitted his Surfing Pikachu. Like, there's so many collaborators that helped out, especially Amiiglows. Like, it's great to see, how we can all just like make a difference here. So talk to me about like how the creative process went, the people who collaborated in this project. How did that turn out?
Okay. Well, I was going to do a charity event before Christmas, but I couldn't decide on a charity I wanted, so when Valentine's Day came around, I started pulling things together, and I started like sending out questions if people would be interested. I was actually getting a little worried because I was getting a lot of, well, I'm really busy with commissions, which is perfectly understandable. Our custom amiibos are, still a rage, and people love them, and we're so happy for that. But it was really amazing. I just sent out a quick request and just told all of my favorite people in the community what we were doing, what I was hoping to do, what the event means to me, and like what raising the money would actually do for these people, and actually what the problem really was is that the lead contaminated water, it actually does cause like neurological damage and a whole lot of health problems. I did a lot of research, and I affirmed that this this water fund doesn't take any administrative fee. It goes straight to get water to people. So some of the people that are auctioning pieces off, Amiiglows, Mason did an excellent Lucario. It looks so cool.
Love it. It's super sick.
It's one of our better priced items right now. Kick-Ash did an awesome little Blastoise. Its face has such a character. It's really funny. It's definitely in the first place right now.
There it is.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, look at that! Yeah. Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So you guys are getting it live.
Yes.
The Amiiglo. The Lucario Amiiglo.
For people that don't understand how this works, I'm using my phone.
Oh, it's got an NFC chip in it. Sorry.
Yeah, so my phone's got the NFC reader in it, and when I put it on the phone, it lights up.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Put it on the gamepad, of course, right? Like when you activate your Amiibo.
Yeah, so gamepads, the Wii U gamepad and the new Nintendo 3DS and the NFC reader for the older 3DSs, it works on all of those. But yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's how all of your Amiiglows work, right?
Yeah, that's how every single one works. And people don't seem to understand, like, is there a switch or a battery? No, there's no battery. Like, that was one thing, is like I didn't want my customs to be like dated. Like, if you have a battery in them, you can use like the lithium ones, like the little watch batteries that last a long time, but eventually it would need to be changed. And I thought about having like part of the base like pop open, like a hinge door, so you could like have a battery tray and pop it in and out. But I couldn't really come up with a good way to do that for all of them and not have it be like super obvious, because I want most of my customs to look really clean. And I'm sure you guys know quite a bit about that. Like, I don't do any painting or anything, so you guys have all sorts of fun stuff having to keep those lines clean and no brush strokes and all that stuff, and you guys do a great job with that. So
thanks, buddy.
Yeah, amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourselves, everything with your game changers, because a lot of people, especially like new followers, might not necessarily have known like all the, there's a lot of customizers that are out there, so kind of give us a little more information about you guys, what you guys do, so at least people know a little bit.
So, funny enough, as far just starting with the name, I was actually in a PR class, and we were told to make up like a fake company and have some products, and we actually sell these controller flash drives, and that was actually the first like Game Changers product that we had, and I was selling those to just people that I knew. And I just thought it was kind of a fun name that, because we're, two brothers and, we modify games, figures, these broken controllers that turn into, flash drives. So we literally change games, and I thought that was kind of like a fun play on words. And then once, it wasn't too long before we that I was doing that the Amiibos came out, and Al started to customize these things, and then we really started to take that a little bit more seriously as that took off. So yeah, I'll let Al talk to you about like the Amiibo side of that.
Okay. So when we started out, I was working a lot on film sets. It was starting to get cold in Chicago. I was working on shows like Chicago Fire and Chicago PD a lot, and boy does it get cold. So we were looking forward to Smash Bros. Coming out, so when it came out, Tom was working or something. I went to the store, I got Samus, and just maybe the next day I painted Ultron Samus, which
oh my god,
kind of
sick,
like,
yeah.
cool. I've shown him a bunch of times. And I made some changes over the year or so. But the reason we called him that was he was just so hard to beat at level 50. So, I mean, he's Marvel's ultimate villain. So we thought that'd be fun. But also, if you guys are watching and are like, who's Alex, who's Tom? I'm Alex, that's Tom. We're identical twins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to know a little bit about like who we are, like so when I'm not helping Al with the business, like so I run the website. I like I design the website, and that's been like my role is a lot of like administrative stuff and design. Because I'm a full-time graphic designer at a church in Barrington, Illinois. So that's my day job, and then I come home and do what I can.
And my full-time job is freelancing on TV shows and commercials and movies. I
That
worked
is
on
a sick job.
major blockbusters. One I'm most excited about is Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Wait, you got to work on that?
I did for 5 weeks. It was amazing.
Oh my god, I'm so
No
No
spoilers.
spoilers. Exactly, no spoilers.
I've been like actively avoiding all of like that marketing because
Uh-huh.
I watched the first trailer and it was like spoilery enough, and I heard that they really let slip a lot of stuff that I really didn't want to know about until I
Mhm.
see it. So I'm like, we went and saw Deadpool, and I like closed my eyes and ears when they played like one of the trailers. I'm like, what's that?
Well, so spoiler alert,
Yeah.
it's going to be amazing.
Oh,
And
no
There you
doubt.
go.
Yes.
What if I have seen? It looks amazing.
hmm
Huge.
So yeah, well, thanks for coming on, guys, and we got a lot of stuff to cover today. So we kind of already covered on the Flint stuff, but we'll touch more on that later, maybe. So we're gonna try to, since this is our first episode, like a general thing we want to do every podcast is the state of our collections, or the state of the collections segment. And so what we're going to do with that is basically talk about our personal collections and where they're at. And as we found out during episode 0, that inevitably leads to lots of tangents about different stories and stuff like that. Like pre-order horror stories, things like that.
Sounds fun.
Yes.
That's
so,
awesome.
I guess, Josue, you want to go first?
Okay, so at least for this week in my state of my collection, pretty much, at least in general, my collection is mostly Smash Brothers Amiibo. I don't have any Animal Crossing Amiibo. Not that I don't want to get any, but it's not where I feel like they're not ready for me to purchase them yet. Not necessarily because they're bad or they look bad, but Amiibo Festival is a little. So I'm kind of like, waiting until like they actually release a new game for it. Hopefully for the NX, they'll be like, okay, we'll make an Animal Crossing game dedicated to the NX, and they're compatible with Amiibo. Then I'll gladly buy them all. But at least I do want to buy a Rover Amiibo on March 18th, so that's what I'm planning to do. I have a couple pre-orders, one from GameStop and for Roy, and my Ryu Amiibo from Best Buy. So. I did cancel my Mega Man Legacy Collection bundle. Okay, so there's a lot of we're gonna get into a big tangent for this, and I know that we covered that sort of in episode 0. I felt as Capcom and just they got pretty lazy with the fact that they created an amiibo for the Mega Man amiibo. It's just a gold repaint with a Smash Brothers base. I was expecting a little bit more, especially if they're gonna make it a nice bundle. Honestly, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. And
my thing was.
I was gonna say in the photos that got posted on Reddit and all that stuff this past week, there's not even a real box for the amiibo.
Exactly.
Not even that, what Chibi Robo? It was a smaller package, but they even did it with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, and that's the thing. So let's get on to that. Okay, so exactly, there's no packaging, there's nothing for it. So it got me pretty upset. I was thinking, I was just okay, no. I did cancel it that same day, unless, a lot of people were saying, okay, you can get, it's for, out-of-box people, and I collect in-box. That's my whole thing. It's not that I have a problem with out-of-box collectors, it's just the way I roll. But, I did cancel it, not because I don't think the game is bad or anything, it's just I prefer to get a standalone release, hopefully soon, so hopefully that's a thing. But that's kind of the state of my collection at this point. So, how are your collections? Where are you guys at right now?
I guess I'll go next. So I have 3 collections.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have my Mint in Box collection,
Okay.
which is in the closet in the guest bedroom here at my apartment. I've got my out-of-box collection, and all of which are completely up to date on all the Smash Amiibo. And then I've got my custom collection, which I've got most of them Amiigloized at this point. So I've got my glowing collection, as it were. And so I have 3 sets of almost everything, not to mention all the extra ones I bought with all the restocks, so I'd have a stock of the ones that were more rare to make Amiiglows out of when people didn't want to supply their own. So I have way, way, way too many Amiibos.
Oh,
It's amazing.
well, we have one of every Smash Bros. Amiibo.
Minus
Ryu
and
minus Ryu and Roy and the ones that are still coming out.
Yeah, same. I don't have any of those yet, but
The
We'll get them.
what I'd like to get is one of each of the
European versions of the Mii characters, so I can have those on my wall instead of having the freaking 3-pack.
3-pack.
The U.S.
Same.
wanted to give us. Oh yeah, there's our collection. It's
Nice.
That's
madness.
beautiful.
Thanks.
And then in our
oh my gosh.
laundry room, we have a shelf that just like 3 levels of just front to back stock, and we feel a little bad about that because some people might think that we're scalpers, but most of those are like accounted for.
Yeah, most of them are paid for. I usually keep a pretty good stock, but this year is going to be much easier to do that since we can actually find them now. Where last year we had to buy way more than I needed because I wasn't sure how many people were going to get each character, so it was like speculation. And
we were like really sensitive about being like scalpy.
Yeah, and we made it a very strong point that we wouldn't sell any by themselves. The only exception we did was we went to a convention and we sold a couple there because we needed to recoup a little money so that we could put it back into the company kind of thing. But yeah,
reasonably.
Yeah, we didn't try to scalp people for them.
Yeah,
But
well,
I'm
that's
really happy about my collection. It's just like so beautiful, and just like Amiiglows, I'm sure we've like handled and manipulated each character.
Oh yeah.
Us to like the point that I know where every single like arm hinge is. I know where each one of them comes apart. Most of the times we don't rip them apart when we paint them, but
I do every time.
do you? Oh yeah, I always see it's
Yeah,
smart.
so I love posting the photos when the Amiibo's like completely pulled apart.
You're like devastated. What have you done? Yeah. It's funny.
Destroyed.
When I did Robin for the first time,
Oh my gosh.
and because I make it a point that Robins I only do for charity events, because that way it's like exclusive, and if I had an extra Robin for the Flint thing, I would have done it, but I don't have one lying around, and they're still hard as crap to find.
They are.
So, but
That's nice of you to do.
yeah,
Deal.
but yeah, Robin Amiibo. I'm with the exception. Okay, I made one for myself, and I made one for a close friend, but aside from that, I've only made 2 others, and they were for the Amiibo Alerts charity auction. The other one is being held for something else for now that I'm not ready to announce.
Present.
But it's a charity thing.
Perfect.
So like, I love when I posted the photo of the Robin just torn to pieces, and this was actually really not that long after Wave 4 came out. So right when Robin was like totally impossible to find, everybody was pissed off about not getting one from from the terrible stock.
Yeah.
I posted that photo, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And it was great.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
People get so upset, and it's just like it's a toy, and I'm customizing it. Sorry. But
Exactly. So going from our collections, is there specifically one Amiibo that you just like? It's up there for you. It's like #1 in your whole collection. The one that you like the most.
I like Lucas, just because that's my main, and Captain Falcon.
Yeah. I love Captain Falcon and Meta Knight. It took me a while to get an English Meta Knight, so I was like,
Seeing it live. I loved the picture that you guys posted up today. The female Robin looks great. Hair and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah. How do you guys sculpt the hair for the female Robins? Is it clay or is it like a plastic?
It's kind of interesting. It's the same stuff they use to sculpt dinosaur bones for museums. It's like a 2-part chemical reaction that hardens over time. There's a couple different styles for it. The stuff that they actually use for that is called Paleo Sculpt. Ours is just kind of the same material. It's kind of fun. I also use
super strong. Like you could drop it.
Yeah, you could whip it against the wall in most cases. Like if I built the sword, it would crack because it's small, but like if I had built that coat, it probably would hold up to it. It's really strong. It's amazing.
That's cool.
It has weight to it, so as it's drying, there's certain things that I know to do, like at a certain time, and then wait to do something else later. Like when I made Meta Knight's cape a long time ago, instead instead of his wings. It's really nice because if you just kind of like shake it and just pull very lightly, it starts to like open up and it will fold onto itself as if it's flowing fabric. And I just had so much fun with it.
That's awesome.
It's just a learning experience working with it.
Can we do like a really quick like thank you to Etika World Network? Because
Shout out.
if you guys remembered like last year or something, they did a video of us with the Red Robin, with the red female Robin, and after that video, like we were doing, we were selling a couple of them, but then after that happened, like it just shot us. Like the exposure that we got was just unbelievable, and we owe him so much. Like thanks and appreciation.
That's why we were happy to send him the female Red Robin for free, and then we're working on a Corin for him.
That's gonna be awesome.
That's amazing. So yeah, big shout out.
Yeah, because I want it to be great. But yeah, he's a stand-up guy, and he's made maybe like 4 videos about us now. We just really appreciate everything he's done. Because if it weren't for him, we would just still be growing. I remember, during Super Bowl Sunday, I was just checking my phone like during halftime, and there was like 60 new followers. What the heck? That doesn't happen in like between me checking. So I looked at comments and like, hey, this guy Etika like made a video about you guys. Go, go, go! And I was like, oh my gosh, it was huge.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I'm just really appreciative of him. So just wanted to say
That's
that.
awesome. So since we're talking about our state of our collection, we have a couple questions from the community, and they're asking. So before collecting Amiibo, do you collect any Nintendo merchandise?
I do.
Tom does.
Sorry.
Okay. Talk about it.
Mike, Mason, you want to go first?
I'm trying to think. So as far as collecting stuff, like I've never collected like video game stuff. Aside from Nintendo systems, I hate to say it, but my first system that I ever owned that was mine was a Sega Genesis and a PlayStation 1. But my dad had an original NES with the original gray NES Zapper, and I played Duck Hunt and Mario. Those were like the first games I ever played. And then I started playing Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis, and but then the real first system that I really fell in love with was the N64. And so like, I mean, I played Super Mario 64, Yoshi's Story, Star Wars Rogue Squadron because that game was awesome. Like, all the classics on the N64, and then I started kind of like every Nintendo system that came out I would buy. And I kept all my old systems. Like, you may or may not be able to see it, but so like, I've got my Wii U up here with my Mega Yarn Yoshi, and
I love Mega Yarn Yoshi.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so he's talking about his collection and how he has Mega Yarn Yoshi and kind of like the Nintendo consoles. Yeah. So meanwhile, we wait for him. What are your collections like?
So since I was young, we would get video games, and I don't like to sell them. I just like to keep them. So the first system that we ever owned, my dad kept his ColecoVision with an Atari adapter. So we have just a bunch of amazing classic games and recently we cleaned it, and it it works like it just came out of the box. And we got an adapter to go on the back of the a flat screen TV, and it's amazing to play Zaxxon. And I found the first Mario Bros game at a used game store, and then we'll play Space Invaders and Donkey Kong, and that's just so great. I just love classic games. But then I started collecting games that I never ended up buying when I was a kid. So I have I bought an NES. I have a decent collection there, but I love the Super Nintendo. So I just have a ton of Super Nintendo games up, and then 64. I buy games here and there. The GameCube, that was a lot of our childhood was we loved the GameCube and
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
so I really like to collect video games, and I've done that a lot more in recent years, and I have a couple bookshelves.
Oh my gosh,
of
that's a
them.
lot.
It's not like wall-to-wall thing like you see on Instagram with those crazy rooms, and I hope
Right.
it gets there. Some days I'm like, I probably shouldn't buy this, but I just find this game that I know is amazing. I love finding watching top tens and seeing what's good. So Game Boy I've gone into handheld. So I really like collecting and learning about video game history.
Well, so I have something you might want to see. Considering Super Nintendo,
Okay.
I have
What?
the original Super Scope, and it works.
That's beautiful.
What?
Cool.
And,
Throwback.
yeah, and to give you guys an idea of how awesome this thing is, it runs. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me see if I can pull this off.
Okay.
It runs on 6 AA batteries.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
And
That's
and by the
insane.
way, that'll give you about 2 hours of gameplay.
What?
That's so terrible.
But I mean, all the buttons are there. They don't even stick. They still click.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in person, or
I know, right?
our friends ever had one of those. That's really cool. Amazing.
Yeah. So I got this when I was in high school. One of the guys that worked with my mom was selling off his video game collection because he was trying to I don't know what he was doing, but I bought this for $20, including the system and all his games and everything, and I've still got it. It's hooked up to my TV right now, and I've got all not all, but a lot of the really good games for the Super Nintendo, including probably the best one for the Super Scope is called Battle Clash. And it's basically like a Gundam style game, but where you're in a Gundam or whatever, and you're shooting at the robots, and you use that to shoot.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It just shows Nintendo's strive for innovation, even that back then.
Well, literally, so it's the exact same technology as the Wii remote.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Wow.
That is
Oh
true.
my god, that's crazy.
We also collected Magic cards and Pokemon
Oh,
cards.
for sure.
How could we not? And then we played Magic a lot, and we did the Pokemon League back when we were kids.
Yeah. We did pretty good at that.
Yeah, we did pretty well at that. And
I
then,
think we have the first 3 Pokemon sets complete.
yeah, through Team Rocket.
Wow.
But the other goofy little collection I have is Ultron. I have Ultron and Hawkeye toys.
That is awesome.
Oh, I forgot. I collected Beanie Babies.
Yeah, us
course.
too. Yeah.
Oh.
And then Pokemon cards. And I went through my my Beanie Baby collection a couple months ago.
Mhm.
They've been sitting in a Tupperware container out in the garage for almost 2 decades now. And so I was like, ooh, I should probably look through these things. And then, a few had been chewed up by mice, but I was looking to see if any of them were worth any money. And I basically found out all of my Beanie Babies, including the ones that at the time when my mom was helping me buy them, because I was little, that we thought were rare, are 4th and 5th print versions. So
Wow.
they're completely worthless. I think the most valuable one I found is worth $5. So
Not bad.
Those things at Goodwill, and it's these things were gold at some point.
Mhm.
I have a Tabasco without the tag though, but I had one of those things, and those they were worth hundreds, or whatever.
yeah,
I can't give them away.
yeah.
Maybe
That
what,
goes into our that's crazy. But that actually does go it's really crazy how sometimes certain things like that just either the price goes really up or they just depreciate after a while.
Mhm.
So we had another question
Mhm.
from Amiibo US actually. They asked, has Amiibo impacted your life or ruined it?
that is a really good question.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess it's complicated for sure. It's made it very interesting and rewarding. It has impacted me because we got so many orders right away that I had to slow my film work down and do only ones that were better. I was more picky with my film
work, which is great. But it also, I just had to manage my time differently because I had to spend 12 hours a day painting, and we started getting more painters because I think we've sold over
400.
it's 500.
Is it?
Yeah, so over 500 customs.
That's crazy.
That sounds
Well,
braggy.
so you said
Yeah.
you had more painters. Like I thought it was just you two doing the stuff.
No, we've had it's never been the same group. We had up to 5 at one point, and they were amazing. But through school or work or something, we get busy, so we bring on someone else. We currently have 2 additional painters that are
Excuse me for
wonderful.
1 second.
One is Frisky Kitty 515 on Instagram. She did that Ghost Pac-Man that you saw.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, if you saw all the pink Captain Falcons and that Blood Falcon that I posted, she did all of those. I've done so many of those, I needed to hand it off. I wanted to make sure that it was so perfectly done, as if we did it, not that we're like perfect or anything, but it just had to be on our level, and she's always been excellent. She also did that Zero Suit Samus print. You saw that,
Oh, yeah, that thing's awesome.
isn't it? I was like,
Yeah.
gasp! She never showed us like that type
That's
of
amazing.
that she does. So her name is Jessica. She's really great and really nice. Another guy, his name is Greg. We're about to pick up some from him, and he usually does like 15 at a time. He's awesome. Not to say I don't do any anymore. I do a ton, but we just have a ton of orders, which we're just trying to, keep caught up and not upset anybody. But he is actually an award-winning, and I think like nationally ranked Warhammer painter. So that's just amazing. Some of the stuff he does for Warhammer is like couldn't manufacture that better. Like, it's amazing to have him around. I wish he was more active on social media and such, but maybe we can get him to. But he's great.
So I have a question for you guys then. So with regards to keeping people happy, customers happy, and keeping up with orders, I have a lot of issues with my customers getting anxious and like, when are you gonna get my figure done? Because for me, I can't do like a bulk painting. I can't do things in bulk. It is one at a time for me, and I do this as like a complete. I mean, not that you guys aren't, but I do this completely in my spare time. What little of it I have, and I've got other stuff I've got going on as well. But like, have you guys had any issues keeping up with orders and keeping people happy? Have you had that 1 or 2 customers that get on your case and are like, "Where's my custom?"
Yeah, absolutely. We try our best to answer emails and get people on the same page as us. We try to show them what we're doing so they're not like, well, what the heck? It's just a toy. Just paint it. What's wrong with you? We don't want them to feel that way, so we make sure that they understand what we're doing, like how long each one takes, and we just, we're not afraid to say, I'm sorry. It can take several weeks to do because there's so many, and we just have, the production list that we got to do them in order, or it's not fair to somebody else.
Exactly.
So we do our best to keep up with emails. There's always somebody that didn't understand how long it was going to take, and we've had cancellations, but not very many.
People have been really cool.
Yeah, it's surprisingly nice. And we have a lot of repeat customers, which is so great. There's a guy on Twitter and Instagram. His name is Marcus Marino, and another guy, Stone V Reyes. We love them so much. We sent them each a free one. They just
10.
Oh my gosh, more than 10. They each have, and every time we do something special, like as soon as we did the Shadow Mario, they both bought one. I believe Shadow the Hedgehog, the Charizards, weird ones, even like oh my gosh, I don't even know. The Metal Sonic was big for Marcus. He really liked that.
Metal Sonic was awesome.
Thank you. That one was a special one for me. I really wanted to do that, and I'm so glad it came out the way it did. Let's see. When I don't know, they're just awesome. We love them and everybody else, but it's just so amazing that they're such supportive people. There are definitely other repeat customers that we have had. It's just so notable how many they both bought. I just wanted to mention them.
That's awesome.
So I had my largest order ever by a guy named Quinn recently.
Yeah.
He ordered 4 amiibo at once.
Okay.
And like I had an order of 2 and 1 before him.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I got those done, and I was like, it's like, I'm really sorry it took me so long, because it took me like 2 months to get through those 3, just because I had so much other stuff going on in my life.
Yeah.
And so I just finished his 4, and then the Samus that I posted this past week or so,
so cool.
was for him, and that was the first one I'd ever done. And when God, that thing was such a pain, because I got it done, and I tested. I always test the NFC coil and make sure it's connected and make sure it works before gluing the bottom back together. That's the last step, is gluing the bottom together with the coil inside. And so I tested it. It worked. I put the coil in the base, put it down in, and glued it, and it didn't work.
Oh no!
That's terrible.
Yeah. And so I pulled the entire thing. I pulled the base apart and tested just the coil outside the base. It didn't work. I was like, okay, something's wrong. I ended up pulling the whole thing apart again and doing all the work over. Like, and so I had to do the entire thing like completely over again. That happened twice.
Wow.
Come on.
And then I finally figured out, for some reason, whenever I closed the base back together and glued it, the glue was getting on the coil and basically gluing the coil so tightly together that it was causing a jam in the signal.
Gotcha.
And so, which is, I've had happen like one other time. It was just an odd case. And so I ended up having to glue the base shut externally rather than internally. And so I hated the way it looked, and I told him, I was like, look, I think the base looks terrible. I don't know why I'm holding Lucario for this, but like, like right around the edge there is how I had to glue it, because otherwise it wouldn't have stayed shut.
Right.
It looked terrible, and I tried sanding it down and scraping it so it would be smooth, and like, it just didn't look good no matter what I did. And I was like, I feel really bad. Like, and I showed him pictures of everything. I was like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm willing to definitely work with you on this. Like, if you want me to do another one, I can try it a different way and do another one for you, and I'll eat the cost of the new figure or whatever, or like, and I'll handle it. Or, I was like, or you can buy this one at a discount, and I'll give you I basically gave him like a 50% discount on it because I felt so bad. Or the third option was, send me another amiibo, and I'll make that one go for free, because I felt so bad. And so he's going to send me another one. So I'm going to wind up making 5 for this one guy. But actually, he'll probably appreciate me showing off what he got. Hold on one second.
Awesome.
And I mean, it's unavoidable to the point that, you guys receive a lot of orders, and sometimes customers can be a little, unhappy with the fact that they don't realize, I guess, like, the procedure and how long it takes to make each and every custom. Because, I mean, one thing is to make it custom, but one thing is to make a really good custom, especially making sure that everything is on point. So even as, like, for you guys, I'm pretty sure that's something that's very important, detail. Because I know a lot of people point that out, especially now that, we're getting a lot of people starting into, like, the custom community. So it's something that a lot of people have been, like, looking at. So I'm pretty sure that, especially with the Amiibo community, I feel like the Amiibo community has been very supportive, especially with their custom artists, which is amazing. But no, for sure, like, it's amazing what you guys do so far. Love it.
What we wanted to achieve was make sure the painting looked as close to, like, manufacturer quality as we could. So, like, the style I chose when I started and stuck with was just kind of as if it was meant to be painted like that, and there's no, like, there's no shading, there's no, like, really fancy multicolors. I just wanted it to look like if you went through the store and you bought it, but you knew it was the Game Changers because of our little sticker.
I love it.
And when it comes to sculpting, obviously that's a little harder, but we wanted to make sure it was, like, the best quality material, and something that an issue we ran into was I was making the hooded Little Macs early on using Super Sculpey, and I was baking them in the toaster oven, or like the convection oven, and doing exactly what I've done dozens of times before, but I walked around away from it for a couple minutes, and 2 Little Macs melted. It was
Oh my
devastating.
god.
It was when they were still rare, so I had to explain to the people, they're like, I just destroyed these things. I'm sorry. It's going to take me a little while, but it was at that point that I switched away from Super Sculpey. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like having to put it in the oven. Now I got a heat gun, so it's still great. I still use Super Sculpey on some things that the 2-part material is a little harder to make, but yeah, so it's about adapting and just like keeping up and making people happy best can.
Yeah.
Before Mason shows us his awesome things, somebody a guy in, oh my god, which country? It's Burma. Americans call it Burma. Um, it's in, it's near Thailand. He ordered, I think, 7 Pokemon from us. Not Amiibo, but he wants Pokemon because he saw a couple of the Pokemon figures we did, and so we're making like really wacky ones. The first one will be Vulpix, and then Tyranitar will be in there.
That is awesome.
It's crazy. It's gonna be fun. But Mason, you got all your cool stuff there?
Yeah, I do. So I'll start with the Samus that I made for the guy that I felt bad about. So like
Right.
the gun and the visor glow.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah.
nice.
So the trick with this one is I had to completely replace the visor, and I used this stuff called Instamorph plastic. So it's not metallic anymore like it was, but I had to take an X-Acto knife and carve that out and replace the visor with plastic that's like 0.5 millimeter thick, and then glue it in place without leaving fingerprints, which I think I did a pretty decent job of. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but on the base,
Okay.
you can kind of actually, especially towards the let me see if I can get this right. Like right there at the edge, you can kind of see marks and stuff. And like for me, I consider that unacceptable with my work, personally. And so like I felt terrible. So I was like, I feel really bad. And so I did what I told you guys I did earlier. And he's fine with it. And he was like, oh, I don't care. I was like, thank you for being a great person.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so did the Samus for him. And then the other things he wanted a Mewtwo. So I did the Mewtwo.
What?
Oh.
That's cool.
There it is.
Awesome.
So
Can you tell us how you did that cool glue work? The plastic work?
that's actually hot glue.
Oh,
So that is entirely hot glue.
amazing. How did you do it
Oh.
like that? I have quite a tough time with that. I got the Falcon Punch thing that we got inspired by Nomad Customs.
Yeah, I saw that one on Reddit, and I tried to contact the guy that made it, and he
Nomad.
never responded.
Oh, I don't know. I think he sticks. Oh, I guess I can't speak for him. I don't know. He's just amazing. He's just really, really cool stuff. He did like Shigeruken Greninja, where he's like standing up.
That
Like,
was awesome.
No, he's so amazing. I wish we would talk to him. Good dude.
So, and then he wanted a bunch of Pokemon, so I did Charizard for him.
Ha!
So
Wow.
Charizard with he's got LED in the mouth and then one in the tail as well.
Okay.
Um,
Did he want fire coming out of the mouth, or is that no?
Well, so I've tried doing some sculpting with like the fire coming out of the mouth before, and it just never looks as good as I want it to. And so I basically, I've had people request that were like, oh, I want a fireball coming out of the mouth. I'm like, well, your option is the Mario fireball, and it won't look like the way you want it to. So.
Okay. Well, nothing wrong with that. You just tell people, what you can do when you can.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last one, and I'm very happy with how this turned out, is Pikachu, and it's just a glowing cheeks Pikachu.
Oh,
Oh my god.
And so, but
cool.
for this one, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, I have to drill through the cheeks, entirely through the cheeks, and basically I get rid of all that red plastic, the plastic that's there, and I have to replace it with plastic, the same type of plastic I used to make Samus's visor. It's called Instamorph plastic. I don't know if you guys have used it. It's essentially just like little beads, or like pellets of plastic that you get like water up above like 160 degrees or so. So like I just put like a coffee mug in the microwave for like a minute until it's like almost boiling, and then I drop the pellets in, and you can get different color dye pieces or dye pellets, and they come in red, blue, yellow, and black as the dye pellets, and you can dye it to whatever color you need. And then you can, it's like super stretchy and moldable when it's warm, but as it cools, it hardens up, and it's about the same hardness. You guys have probably not drilled through Pit's feet or legs before, but so Villager and Lucas and Ness's legs, and Palutina's as well, are a different type of plastic than like the plastic that like Lucario is made out of.
Yeah.
Their plastic is very malleable, whereas like the plastic for like the legs on a lot of the figures that have like skin tones is really hard and tough.
Robin's is like that. Robin's boots.
Yeah, Robin too. Robin's that same tougher plastic.
Yeah.
So the Instamorph plastic dries into that harder plastic.
Cool.
But when it's hot, it's really malleable and great to work with. I haven't tried painting it, but it's really easy to have it as it's drying, accidentally leave a fingerprint in the plastic. And once it dries, it's really easy. You can heat it back up like with a heat gun to the point where it's malleable again. But it's kind of annoying to work with, to be honest. And one of the problems I find is that if it's even a little bit thick, it won't show light through at all. So I have to get the plastic really, really thin to show the light through. And so, like, I charge like a $5 sculpting fee. I don't know what you guys charge for sculpting, but like the sculpting part of it is a whole. I really should charge more than that, to be honest, but I don't because it takes a lot of time. But so yeah,
for sure is making your time worth it. But I just justify it as it makes people happy, so we try to charge like an arm and a leg.
Exactly. Well, okay, so we went on quite a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah.
That's fine. Sorry, I kind of was talking about my customs a lot.
No problem.
So, have you guys been playing any games that have amiibo functionality?
Shovel Knight and Smash Bros. All day.
That's awesome.
Super Mario Maker, definitely.
Okay.
But
that's awesome.
Honestly, we just bought a PS4, so we're kind of like trading. We've been traders, so I just had to get my Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty fix in. But we actually have some friends over right now that Tom's entertaining playing Smash Bros. So we were having a little tournament, and
Bye, Tom.
that was fun. Awesome. Come to Chicago, man, or the suburbs of Chicago.
That is awesome.
Nice. If it makes you feel better, I have the Arkham Knight PS4, so you're not.
Oh my god! Yeah, I definitely got Arkham Knight. That's huge. It was an obsession for me. I love those games. They're amazing.
I'm planning to get one in sometime in April because of Ratchet and Clank. So I'm holding on till then.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. The Nintendo NX though, guys. I need that.
Oh my god.
I hope it is what we hope it is, and it's just like Nintendo deciding that they need that third-party love, and that they should be willing to give their franchises to very capable hands.
That would be awesome seeing that. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are being rumored, especially for the NX. So a lot of people are saying that we probably might hear it even before E3. So let's see how that goes, because we've heard a lot of good things. So yeah, and I'm hoping fingers, because honestly, how I look at it, it would make more sense for them to announce it before E3, so at E3 they can talk everything about it. Because there's probably going to be a lot of questions, especially like Smash being another title for it. So a lot of people are asking, is that going to be like a remake for it, or is it just going to be a new title? Probably something, probably a remake. But I'd love to see a new game. But I know that Decker has been working on a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, it probably. I see it as being just a port of this one, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
hopefully they announce more DLC for it. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see more DLC.
so my guess with the NX release is it's gonna be like they're a port over, but like you'll buy the NX, and like for people that don't already have Smash Bros for the Wii U, they can buy. It'll come with the system, and it'll come with all the DLC characters for like the $60 or something like that. But for the people that already have the Wii U and all the DLC, it'll be like $10 to port it over to the like that. That's what I'm hoping for. And then the other thing I'm hoping for is that they will then say, okay, we know we gave you guys the Geno costume and the Knuckles costume, and that was a teaser. Sorry, here's the real thing, and give us all the other characters that we've all been wanting from the Smash ballot.
That'd be cool.
Like that would be my ideal release for Smash on the NX.
Can we put the Shovel Knight? Yeah, please.
Yes, Shovel Knight, please. Like I've never even played Shovel Knight, but I love the character.
I want to see Snake back. Snake, I would love to see Snake and get an amiibo for it. That's like an obsession right there.
You know what they should do? And so I will say this: they need to just make Lucina an alternate costume for Marth. I'm sorry, Lucina people that play her, like, just make her an alternate costume like you did with male and female Robin. It's the same thing.
Preach it. About the what was it for Shovel Knight? If you do end up playing that, I got an adapter that is like you hook up an original Super Nintendo to, like the Wiimote. Literally, it's a dream to play Shovel Knight with that, and I recommend that. Or the what is it? I think 8-Bit Do. I got a Bluetooth controller, and that works really good too. But I just love, like, this was the Nintendo controller. I'm playing, a throwback game, and it's so great.
So doesn't the Shovel Knight amiibo like add like a player 2 kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But we haven't used it for that yet. We're just playing solo and switching off. It's still so amazing though. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I've been playing Smash. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, follow my Twitter and like what people tweet at me. So this guy, I think his name's like Meepster or something like that, tweeted at me today and was like, "Did you enjoy getting your ass handed to you in Smash the other day?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, I don't play competitively, and it was very apparent to me that guy plays much more seriously than I do." And I was like, well, I was also working on customs, and that was not a good day for me. Like, wasn't playing very well. But man, I got my butt what was it, like a week ago? I put on Instagram and Twitter like my friend code or whatever, and said, "Hey, come challenge me." Like, that was more of like me trying to just get people to play because I was bored and I wanted to play, and people took it as like he must be a good Smash player, and so we're gonna kick his butt, like, kind of thing. And I got
because you're calling them out,
yeah, I got my butt handed to me. Like, I think I won like 2 matches out of like 40. Like,
oh my god,
I got completely wiped. Like,
we need another rematch.
Yes, we do.
We need a rematch.
Tournament, right?
Amiibo Steel, you did the tournament, right?
Yeah, we did a tournament. We did a tournament.
I jumped in that. I got pounded.
Down.
But then
Are you serious?
everyone was using Corrin really good. Like, I started. We were just having like a little tournament here with some buddies, and I used Corrin and kicked him up. But I got my butt kicked in here.
Yeah, no, they were being very competitive. Like, I didn't realize until our third tournament that they were really good. Like, they don't play. I have 2 people probably who follow me that are like really disgustingly. They play so good. I'll shout out their names right now. So we have one that's called Alco, and the other one is Awa. Those 2 constantly are like beating us, like just hamming us. So. No, for sure. Like, we'd love to get another Smash tournament soon, so we can finally kick their butts. But we'll see.
Yeah. Did you guys play in the Splatfest?
No.
Nobody plays Splatoon?
No.
This weekend, no. But who do you voted for? Who do you voted for?
I voted for Blue because that was my first Pokemon game ever. So, I had to go with what I started with.
Oh, I would have gone with Fred.
You guys get a
Oh.
Mew?
Oh yeah, did you guys get a Mew?
A Mew?
I have
car?
not. I have not yet. I need to stop by GameStop.
Yeah, do it.
I just
Yeah.
up, and I think I posted something on Instagram that like I've literally waited 20 years to get a Mew, like literally 20 years.
Wow.
What? Mew?
Is this the first time you're getting a Mew?
Yeah. I know
That's
that there was like
crazy.
ways to get it with the glitch and everything, and I think they had a distribution before, but yeah, it's just built really special.
I had one on my copy of Blue. I met a kid at summer camp, like the year that Pokemon Blue came out or whatever, and he had been to the Nintendo World Store in New York, and they had like a thing where you could take your cartridge, put it into a computer, and it would put Mew on your game for you.
Oh, I heard about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so he'd done it with 2 different games, and so I convinced him, like I had every other Pokemon except for Mew, and he hadn't completed his Pokedex, so I said I will complete your Pokedex for you if you'll give me a Mew, and he was like sure. So we spent like at this like summer camp thing, like 4 or 5 hours just sitting there trading back and forth until I got my Mew. And then what sucks is that cartridge, the battery has died, so I can't even get to those Pokemon.
Wow. I didn't start playing Pokemon till probably Alpha Sapphire. That's when I started playing it.
Oh, really?
Well, I know that, yeah, very recently. Like, I know, like, everyone in my family always played it. They started collecting the cards and everything. I didn't go into that phase till, like, pretty recently. So, yeah, no, I love the game. So I'm hoping, honestly, that this year at E3, being Pokemon 20, that they announce a new game. I'd love to see a new game, because it's so good.
I imagine Z will come out, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
It's such a fun like brain killer. Like after I come home from work, like just playing like Pokemon
Yeah.
Yeah.
or games, whatever. It's just like it's fun.
I just asked Twitter to tweet us some questions. I saw you guys did that. So hopefully people ask
Perfect.
these things. It'd be awesome.
Well, so with regards to Pokemon and Amiibo,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Amiibo News, I've been listening to their podcast, the Amiibo Newscast, the past week or so. And, like, literally every episode, they talk about Pokemon and Amiibo and, like, the future and whether they're going to have a Pokemon Amiibo cards. Like, and, like, literally every episode since episode 1, and I'm on, like, 11 now, and it gets mentioned at least a little bit. It's funny. So, what do you guys think of the idea of Pokemon Amiibo cards?
I'm for it.
Do it.
100% do it.
Oh, 700 and some odd.
Yeah, do it yesterday. I would collect them.
Yeah. I would have no
Nothing-
willpower against doing it. I would have to. Be
Yeah.
like, yes.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you got? Oh, there you are. Yeah. Here's all of my hard-earned money.
Like, a lot of people are talking about that, that Amiibo, like, a lot of people are like, no, the Amiibo phase is dying down and whatnot. So I think, honestly, if they were to release at least an Amiibo lineup for Pokemon, they would be making money. And Amiibos would just be stronger. Like, it's not going down, but the hype, like, if you can't make necessarily more Pokemon Amiibo figures, at least make cards. Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would love that, especially if they do release another Pokemon game like Pokemon Z. If that's something that they plan on making, that's great to see.
Well,
But now, for real.
So,
Somebody
I
asked
have a bet with a... Oh, sorry.
just what inspired you to start doing customs. Just real quick, us out of stress and love for the characters. And I had paints left over from painting model cars, because I've been doing that since I was a little kid, just like maybe once or twice a year. So when Amiibos came out, I was like, hey, let me do this. I popped a few on Instagram. I thought it'd be cool to just go by custom_Amiibo, and it just, the rest is history. We did just hit 30,000 followers today.
Oh, congrats!
Everybody for being just so awesome.
That is
But
awesome.
the person that asked that what inspired you was Aiden_Melville on Twitter. So cool. Mason, how about you, buddy? What inspired you?
So, funny enough, and actually, I talked to you guys pretty soon after I started
Yeah.
about a Villager Amiibo that we still haven't
I
finished.
know. I feel so bad, man. There's just so many things I keep doing, and then.
I know. It's fine. So this was supposed to be my friend's birthday present last year.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's not on you guys. It's like it's me too. Because, well, here,
You've
you
asked
know
me
what? I have a
times.
G-body, except for my friends that are. Let me show you what I've got done on it.
Okay. I'm a terrible human being, buddy. I'm
So,
sorry. Love you.
for my friend,
Yeah.
I really wanted to have a villager amiibo pocketing a smash ball, and I wanted the smash ball to glow. And so that's what I started doing. This I was like, okay, I want it, and I actually have a first print villager here that I did a really crappy not round smash ball out of the Instamorph plastic, trying to get it to glow. And there's a white LED inside.
Oh. Oh.
And this was the first.
With the thickness, right?
Yeah, exactly. The plastic's too thick, and this was the first one I ever did.
Okay.
And it's just awful. It's really bad.
I will work on that, bud. I don't have any gigs lined up this week. No more excuses on that. Especially 'cause
You said at one point you had the smash ball like carved out, but I don't think.
crap. I did, but I lost it.
No, it happens.
Yeah. It
And
is
actually,
terrible. I'll do it again even better though.
I'm pulling the smash ball on mine apart right now. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can hear the crinkling, but
Careful.
hold on.
Well, viewers, we're about to see the death of a villager.
Oh,
Cool. It is cool though.
Yeah, so that was such a pain in the butt to make to get this stupid smash ball on here, but you know what? It looks terrible, so we're gonna take it off. But so yeah, basically I wanted to make an amiibo that glowed for my friend who mained villager. He now mains DDD, but but he also still he loves playing villager. And so I found that the Mii Gunner is a great counter to villager because almost all of villager's attacks are a projectile. And so if you have Mii Gunner and use his down smash or his down special, and it's the reflector shield, it reflects 90% of villagers' attacks. And so that's why he switched to DDD, because I trolled him really hard.
That's awesome.
After he trolled me for months playing villager, and I just couldn't figure out how to beat him.
That is awesome.
That's funny.
But yeah, so this is now what's left of it.
Oh wow! Oh look at there's the LED. Okay. All right. Well,
We'll get working on that.
we will, and we will see that this week. And it's gonna be amazing. And something else we're gonna see this week, right? Amiibo Steel.
Oh, let's talk about that. Okay, so do you guys want to announce it?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
So, you had asked us a couple days ago to create a custom as a collaboration, and we'd be happy to. You guys are putting the word out so hard for the charity, so we're like, yeah, we'll absolutely do something. We're gonna do a little thief, we're gonna make it as cute as possible. But I think I'm gonna use either Lucario or Pikachu.
That is awesome.
And he's just gonna be a little robber, and I'm gonna change the face so he just looks a little almost anime-y, like he's not really sure what he's doing. He's just getting into mischief. So it's gonna be
awesome.
So very excited to do that for you.
So I have a suggestion for you guys for his little thief amiibo. Make it a Jigglypuff base so that he can finally have a Jigglypuff that can beat the crap out of him.
Oh my god. That is my main in Smash. That is.
Really?
Yeah, so Jigglypuff is his main in Smash, and I've never played a Jigglypuff that's as good as theirs.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can use Jigglypuff. That was another suggestion. I was either going to go with Jigglypuff or Pikachu, but today I was like, I think Lucario would be fun because he looks like a little raccoon kind of. And they're adorable little robbers. But Jigglypuff all day, I'll do something.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that will go back on the. So if you're checking, like everything, especially with the charity event, that will be on the listings eventually sometime this week. So make sure to put that announcement.
Okay. For the charity, I do have more items being posted. I'm still playing with the idea of doing a second auction because we're going until March 13th, and like I said, every cent, 100%, is going to Flint, Michigan, to this specific fund. United Way is the foundation, and in their website, it just details how there's no administrative fee, and that all of it goes to getting filters for people's water and water itself. So that's that's the cause. I also want to raise around $10,000 at least. I think it's super doable with how wonderful our community is, and it could just go a long way. It's you know
Yeah.
we'd love to do more, but I think 10 could be feasible.
Well, so are there any artists that you would like to be involved that maybe you haven't been able to
Yeah.
talk to yet?
We just, I know he was busy, but we finally just got Mikolos, or, man, sometimes I butcher his name and I feel terrible.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but like,
Mikous_collections. Great dude. A couple more that I'm interested in getting a hold of is Pixel Collie Creations. They're really nice. They just do amazing work. I forgot to even ask Lupaland, and I feel terrible. They're also very talented. I don't know what their workflow is nowadays. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. Amiibo Art, Amiibo_art. His name is Evan. We've talked, and we even tried to meet up when I was in New York, but I'd like to ask him too. I think we could feasibly do a second auction because we can't seem to do more than 10 days, and it might just be a good option to just raise more funds, and I may even be able to do it a little better just to make it look like more pro.
I don't know. Like, I think Josue got booted off.
Yeah, come back, dude. Yeah. Oh.
But
I'm having. Oh, he said an emergency came up. That's okay.
Okay, no big deal. We can finish up. I guess the other people I was kind of hoping to see was Super Video Game Land. I think I sent you there. They do a lot of like video game paintings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check them out.
Yeah, talk to them. They're awesome.
Yeah, his stuff is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So cool.
And so I know it's not trying to bring up any beef or any drama, but what about Gonda Chris?
I asked Kick-Ash to talk to her. I really want her to be involved. She just brings from the previous auctions that have been held by Amiibo Alerts. She's just been such a vital, authority in customs, and just brings in a lot of money. And to be able to send that to Flint, Michigan would be awesome. If you want to talk about like anything that's gone on in the past,
well, I think you guys are all trying to move on from any beef or drama you had, and like we don't need to go into it. Like it's not really anything that needs to be gone into it. Just like if there's anything, hopefully she'll listen to this, and if there's something you guys want to say to her, like feel free to say it.
I think that would be I hope she listens to it. We just hope to be like really good friends. The community's awesome. There's no room for like drama. If we've done something to upset you, we're sorry. We just want to be buddies as we are with you guys, and like every other customizer and the other big community members. We make toys, so we just want a happy community. We just want it to be like as great as it can. I always see people saying it's the best community out there, so it could just be even better if the two of us.
So well said. And I don't think she wants any beef either. Like I've talked to her quite a bit, and so like I'm sure you guys are good. Like I can't speak on her behalf, but hopefully now that she's heard you guys actually say something, what I would really love is to see a collaboration on a figure. That would be sweet,
right? I hope it's just misunderstandings more than anything else.
I think
she was upset that we made similar ones, especially the Mewtwo one, and we explained that whole situation. That's in the past. It even upset the Wizard World gaming guy, but we're past it, and we want to move past it. So we're hoping for just a warm 2016, and we hope we can be as good of friends as we were with everybody else. Of which those relationships are still developing, because I'm kind of a to myself type of person. So it's just recent that I'm going out and getting to know everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. One project that I've had in mind is I want to get like some of the major customizers to do a huge collaboration. And by huge, what I mean is we're gonna make one amiibo, just one. And it sounds like it's not that huge, but to accomplish it will be really difficult. And here's why: I want to take one amiibo and have as many possible artists work on it, and great example of kind of what I want to do is I want to take a Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So this is just an example, not necessarily what we'll end up doing. But take like a Mewtwo, and I will pull the amiibo completely apart. So every possible part that can be pulled apart is separate. And I will send a piece to each piece, or like one piece to a different customizer. So like I would send you guys like the tail or something, and I'd send like Gonda Chris one of the legs, and I'd send Evilos the head, and like a Soltis who does the zombie amiibos like another hand or something.
Collaboration. That'd be
and then basically have this ridiculously, God knows what it'll turn out like, and just like free reign to everybody, and make it so nobody's supposed to talk to each other about what they're doing to the pieces, and have them all sent back to me at the end, and then I will make something on it glow.
Oh wow!
Frankenstein of collaboration.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then auction it off for charity.
Oh my gosh, dude, you gotta get Zamiibo to do something to it. You gotta send him a piece. You're like guts flying out or something.
So
oh my gosh, people are so creeped out, but he's just so talented. We love.
Also, if we did a Mewtwo, I have this vision of a Pikachu head being held in the hand.
That's dark.
I know.
Yeah.
So metal.
Well, so you guys, when you introduced a bunch of us on an Instagram chat one time, like we talked about doing something like that.
Yeah.
And nothing ever came of it. But the idea was to have a Mega Man with the LED shooting like a gun, or shooting like a blast, and have it be a double amiibo with like two bases that are like connected somehow, and have Mario on one side and Mega Man on the other, with Mega Man shooting Mario's head and Mario's head exploding.
That's awesome. That's cool.
And that was, nothing ever came of it, but that was the idea.
Yeah. Dang, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, wow. I think we went for like over an hour. So,
oh my gosh.
I think we're pretty good. You guys have anything you want to add about the Flint charity thing? We're gonna add all the links in the YouTube section and all that stuff, and tweet all about this. We'll probably have this up in hopefully like tomorrow night by the latest, kind of thing.
Okay.
I think just beyond, people's continued support, whether it's like our, eBay thing or just in general, I think that, people, I don't know if people can just like give money or not.
Yeah, you can, cool. If you go to, I'll send you the link. It's the Flint Water Fund.
You guys are doing the hashtag.
Flint Blue Heart. I'd love for people to spread that around. It just is a great way to give it a title instead of just calling it like the Flint Water Crisis Auction. It just gives it a meaning. It gives it a title, and so I just want that to be what it's called. If you want to send money directly, if you don't want to bid on an item that you may not win because someone else may outbid you, you can go to United Way, GENESEE.org, and you can send it directly to the Flint Water Fund. Okay. In Flint, Michigan, it's a small town around 100,000 people. I guess it's that small, but they're struggling with contaminated water with lead, and they're also getting a form of pneumonia that is lethal. So it's yeah, it just is not a great situation. We've heard a lot of testimony how it really is as bad as it sounds, sometimes even worse. But we want as much, water and money to go to them as we can because they're American citizens, they're neighbors to Illinois. So it means a lot to us, but we want it to be, just as big as it can. We want to raise at least $10,000 to send to them and just say, hey, this community cares. We have one of the best communities in video game world, and we all want to come together to do something really, really awesome.
And for those who are comfortable, like any prayers that way is obviously really appreciated and really helpful.
Mm-hmm. We're all accustomed to bathing, taking long showers if you so choose, and not even thinking twice. Where their government is telling them that it's safe to bathe in it, and maybe tests have said that it is. Again, I'm not a scientist, but it just seems dangerous to bathe in lead-contaminated water. So the residents are concerned. Again, we're not scientists, so we can't say to anything specific, but we just want to see the problem solved and contribute any way that we can. So say your prayers and give till it hurts a little bit for a great cause. And we just hope anyone that wins these auction pieces just loves the custom that they get. We have a great friend that is making custom boxes for a few more of the amiibos. So I'll update those auctions when we get that all settled. It's Seth Hay on.
Yes, Seth is working on a logo for us as well.
Yeah, great dude, great person there.
And he just had his first kid, I believe.
Yeah,
congratulations
to him. So cool. So yeah, I guess that's it. We're really happy to actually get to talk in front and get to know some of you guys. And
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been great having you guys, and thanks for being here on our first episode too. Because we don't really have quite our format down. We're working on it, but it's great to have you guys, and we'd love to have you back, of course.
Yeah, thanks again for having us, Mason. It was great to talk to you in person.
Yeah, you guys too. And hopefully we'll get some Amiiglows ordered or available to be ordered through the Game Changers website soon. We will have all the kinks worked out. Because that would be, I'd love to do that and make my life a little easier, and I think it would help you guys out a little too.
Sure.
So.
And it's yourgamechangers.com.
Yes, yourgamechangers.com. Oh, and the last thing that we're supposed to do is, or we want to do each time is talk about giveaways that our listeners should enter. Okay. So, Amiibo Alerts has a really awesome giveaway going right now for the Twilight Princess bundle, including the Wolf Link Amiibo, Ganondorf, Zelda, and Link Amiibos all at once. So all that stuff for free, which is, I don't understand how they can afford to do that sort of thing, but I think Amiibo News has some giveaways going too. And then Amiibo Steel, Josue and them would plug this if they were here, but he had to drop out. He is Amiibo Steel and Amiibo US are doing a cooperative giveaway for Ryu, Famicom, Rob, and Roy Amiibos. All different giveaways. So there's 3 separate giveaways, one for each Amiibo. So if you're listening and you aren't familiar with how to enter those, check them out on Twitter. Those are the best ways to enter, I think, right now for those. Amiibo Alerts, excuse me, AmiiboAlerts.com. They've got their giveaways listed there. Mm-hmm. And Amiibo Steel's got theirs on their website, I believe, as well as their Twitter account. And yeah, Twitter's a great place to find giveaways. And of course, make sure you go check out the auction for the Flint Blue Heart charity auction, and it's used the hashtag Flint Blue Heart, trying to get that trending and get that going. Mm-hmm. And I've got some Lucario up for auction, which I showed you guys earlier.
Beautiful.
And then you guys have put up some awesome stuff, and we got all sorts of artists working on this. And there's a really awesome Zero Suit Samus print that somebody did that, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want that thing.
515 so great. Her name is Jessica, and she does a lot of our amiibos. She's so wonderful. We have a giveaway too. We're giving away a custom pink or red pit. It was running through Valentine's Day. We've kind of overshadowed it a little bit with the auction, but still going on. It ends March 1st. Just go to our Instagram, instagram.com/custom_amiibo to enter. We'll also give you options on Twitter to enter that as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks guys for being here, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And this has been the Touch Base Podcast, level 1, as we're calling it. And I'm with the Game Changers, and Josue had to leave early, but thanks for listening in. And hopefully we'll have like a legitimate outro and intro in the future. We're still kind of working on that, but it's been great having you guys. So thanks for being here.
Have a great night. Have a great night, buddy.